All right, let's take a sip of this so we can have a little bit of... Oh my God. All right, let's get a sip of it. Look at this, look at this. See, I just took a sip, not even drunk, already wasted a little bit of this Buffalo Trace. Sinner! 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 All right, little sip for a little gas in the tank. All right, excuse that. All right, guys, what's up? My name's Brenner. Welcome to my channel. This is Mr. Liquor Sipper, and this is Whiskey Proof News, where I do the research so you don't have to. Whiskey. Now, whiskey has a lengthy aging process, and because of that, the high demand for that specific spirit make it pretty difficult and sometimes nearly impossible to find certain bottles in the liquor stores. Local, mom and pop shops, even your well-known ones. Buffalo Trace, that is just one of the brands of Kentucky straight bourbon that is difficult to find nowadays. But really, why is Buffalo Trace so hard to find now? Stay tuned and let's find out. Alright, so all across the deep and dark ocean of the internet, mainly Facebook and some other forums of Reddit and whatnot, but it's been shown, talked about, discussed, and rumorized over and over again as to why we can't find Buffalo Trace anywhere. So, according to their official website, Buffalo Trace products are hard to find in liquor stores because basically the whiskeys that they put inside barrels that were years ago have basically just not aged properly for selling or for bottling yet. Now, Buffalo Trace is known to be aged between the magic mark of 8 to 10 years, so they just haven't hit that time frame yet. That doesn't mean that there is in fact a shortage, so there is no shortage. I am debunking that now. No shortage for Buffalo Trace. Now, Buffalo Trace is a brand that is incredibly dedicated to releasing only bottles that have passed their intricate quality assessment. They are interested in releasing subpar quality whiskeys just to make a quick buck. So everything about them, you know, they're not gonna do anything or bottle anything if it doesn't meet that age requirement, and they're not just gonna throw something in the bottle like they said for a quick buck here. I can tell you guys this, in the meantime, while everything is still aging, the brand is actually in the works of expanding its production capacities to create bigger batches, but it will still be some time before the Buffalo Trace batches are aged enough for bottling. Alright, so one of the reasons that everyone's having such a difficult time finding these bottles is because of state population, or rather state's population, every state. So Buffalo Trace only allocates a limited supply of bourbon bottles per state, meaning like basically, like if you're in a state, they may only send out 5,000 bottles to that state, and that's not even just to include each city that you're in, especially in major populated cities. And then this number is parsed out to businesses based upon their past sales of that Buffalo Trace bottle. So then you're at the beck and call of, okay, well, where did Buffalo Trace, as a business standpoint, where did they sell the most bottles from? Because then that's where they're gonna potentially throw those bottles at, and then what cities and what states sold the most as well. So if they were lower on that list of sales, then more than likely they're going to be more hard pressed for them to receive that bottle. And if you're located in that specific area, then you may have to drive somewhere else, fly somewhere else, or whatever the situation is, Uber somewhere else to find that bottle. All that being said, I'm pretty sure you can guess what happens next, because the smaller retailers, as I kind of stated, and the smaller businesses, they often get zero, they get nada. So when retailers do get unicorn rare bottles from time to time, they end up saving them for loyal long-term customers and then sell them as 1 ounce pours, or they'll end up holding lotteries to raise funds for any types of charities that they have going on. And so this is why it's highly difficult to fall upon Buffalo Trace bottles in local shops nowadays. So to include some of this other information, Buffalo Trace is the country's oldest distillery, if you did not know. The distillery is even considered a historic landmark, which is why their labels are popular, not just to the regular old enthusiasts, but also to those that are the newborn bourbon junkies. Bourbon junkies. All right. So the quality to their spirits also have not changed over the years, making it one of the whiskey's industry's most reliable and trustworthy whiskeys that you can get, which again is why they don't want to water down, no pun intended, their whiskey, or go ahead and just produce something that, you know, maybe a 4 or 5 year Buffalo Trace, because the quality is just not going to be there, and that is one of their key points and fundamentals, what everyone recognizes or pairs with Buffalo Trace is quality. So I think that social media and other outlets, but predominantly it's just social media, entertainment outlets, even stuff like this, I think is something that is also a contributing factor as to why people are not able to find these bottles, is because it's just simply becoming more popular. It has been mentioned quite a few times, and probably the most well-known podcast on the planet, the Joe Rogan Experience, where he talked openly about his experience and his love for the bourbon brand itself, Buffalo Trace. Needless to say that he kind of piqued his listeners' interest after he shared his love for the spirit, and then, you know, him being who he is and his name paired with a high-quality bourbon, it's just going to extend and create a perpetual growth for this particular company. So Buffalo Trace products are not the most affordable labels on the market, but their price points are definitely a steal for the quality that you're getting. So not only that, but it is of interest to people if people are already under the impression that the bottle itself is being sold out rapidly, then it's also going to create more interest within the bottle, which leads to more people purchasing the bottle, and that could also lead to potential issues or a crisis of finding Buffalo Trace itself. That being said, because it seems like it's having such a difficult time keeping up or maintaining the actual demand for Buffalo Trace, it's actually creating even more interest and making people feel like they almost just need these bottles. And I fell culprit to this. I actually bought these 2 bottles today that I'm sharing with you guys. It's actually what sparked me to do this video, is because I understood that, at least from what I was reading initially, that there was in fact a shortage. It's not that there's a shortage, right? And I kind of explained this before, but it's not that there's a shortage. It's just that everything that they do have in barrels, it just can't bottle it yet. So it's a shortage, yes, but a shortage, no. In conclusion, that is also why I bought 2 bottles. So the other one will maintain itself as a closed and sealed bottle, just because of the anticipation of it could be another 2 or 3 years before they're able to have ample supply to accommodate everyone that is beginning to get into the whiskey world. Anyway, I appreciate all you guys and gals jumping into my whiskey proof news today. If it's not too late and you're still with me, don't forget to like and subscribe, leave a comment. Why don't you just leave 3 glasses down there in the comment section for me to let me know that you have arrived, that you were here, that you tuned into my channel. Let the algorithm know that people are enjoying this content. If you guys want to know anything else that's bourbon or whiskey related, let me know. Drop it in the comments so I can do the research so you guys don't have to. And until next time, cheers and keep on sipping.